We are going to get up and get our acceleration here. This thing is quick. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're gonna be going over a 2022 Mazda CX-30 Turbo. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Southtown Mazda here in Utah for giving me some time with this CX-30 Turbo. Check out their inventory in the description down below. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 22 around town and then 30 on the highway, with power outputs being 250 horsepower and then 310 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the CX-30. So first off, I love the body lines on either side, and then I love how Mazda always makes their hoods just like flat there in the center. Just gives it a distinctive appearance and just makes it look a whole lot better. Anyways, coming down below, you guys can see we've got the projector bulb for the headlight and then the LED accent light around it. And just look at the side of the light too. It looks really cool. Kind of reminds me of like Star Wars type stuff. Notice we've got the parking sensors here on the front end and how the whole front grille is darker. Got the Mazda logo there in the center. And notice how I've got like the plastic cladding at the bottom. The Mazda 3 doesn't have that, and that's because this is kind of like a lifted Mazda 3 in a sense. Coming around the side here, we've got two 15mm tires wrapped on 18-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. Notice how the wheels are all blacked out. I think that's a really cool aesthetic. Got the plastic molding here for the fender flare and then down the side of the CX-30 as well. Notice we got the blacked out mirrors, and if we take a few steps back, you can see the full side view. Notice the chrome trim around the windows, and well, there you go. Now here is our key fob for the CX-30. You guys can see we've got the lock function, we've got the unlock, and then we have the opening here for the hatch. So just press that and it'll pop right open. And then you guys can see popping here into the hatch area. Notice we've got all of our floor mats here in the back. And then if we go under all of this, which is quite a bit, you guys can see there's a little strap here you can pull, and then there's the spare tire where it lives its life. And again, similar to like the Mazda 3, this has like, again, well, I should rephrase that. This has like Mazda 3 storage space, because this is basically a lifted hatchback. It's called a crossover, but it's kind of what you get from a storage space perspective. Press that and it'll lower it back down. Ooh, okay. Now let's go over the rest of the rear. You guys can see the taillights here, kind of the design on that. Notice got the Mazda logo, CX-30, and then turbo below the Skyactiv G. And then you guys can see the exhaust tips actually look pretty sporty here. Parking sensors along the bottom, and well, that's all for the rear. Now here's the door panel in the back. You guys can see all of the padding, and then down below you can see the stitching that goes across, little window control. And then here are the seats in the rear. So you guys can see the leather with the perforated leather here all down the center. And if I pop in, you can see legroom and then headroom as well. And then we've got the vents just down below, and we have our cup holder armrest situation. And let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel at the front. You guys can see again with all of the padding, and then up above, got the door lock and unlock speaker for the Bose sound system. Got all of our window controls here. You guys can see the mirrors. They do have blind spot monitoring. And then here's the front seat again with the leather, perforated leather here. Looks really nice and upscale. And then down below, we've got all of our power adjustments for the seat, pedal layout down below, memory seat function as well. You can open up the hatch from that point. Got this for the safety tech camera, parking sensors, hill climb assist, and let's pop in. Now here is the steering wheel in the CX-30. You guys can see here with the leather all around, and then the stitching here on the center portion. We've got our adaptive cruise control, steering assist as well, controls for the volume, phone controls, all that stuff. And then we have our normal turn signal, light stock, windshield wiper stock, and we got little paddle shifters here on the back of the steering wheel. And there you go. So here is the center gauge cluster. Love how you have the 3 gauges. I think it definitely looks good from an aesthetic perspective. And then here in the center, notice you can go through different bits of information on the car, and then you can make it just be like a regular tack. And then we have a sport mode. Pop on the sport, pretty simple, and there you go. Now here's the center infotainment system. It's controlled via a dial, but before we get into that, go over the backup camera. Notice you got trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel and the bird's eye view as well. And you guys remember that camera button from earlier? We press that Notice we got our front view right here with trajectory lines. So this is off-road ready because of the front camera, which is pretty cool. And you guys can see the different viewpoints you can press here, side view as well. So from a camera perspective, definitely solid. As for the rest of the infotainment system, again, controlled via dial, not a touchscreen. It takes a second to get used to it, but once you do, it's actually very easy, simple, and straightforward. Down below here, we've got our analog controls for the climate system. It's got dual zone climate. We've got heated seats, heated steering wheel, all that fun stuff. And then we have some storage space down here, a couple cup holders. Shifter for that 6-speed automatic transmission. And then notice it's got, again, that manual shift mode where you can use this or the paddles. Sport mode right here. Got a park and brake, auto hold, controls for the center stack, radio controls for like the volume, for example. Really nice center console with the padding and all that. You guys can see that slides back. Storage space is great with it. It's kind of like an interesting function. Then popping over here to the glove box, you can see the storage space there. Notice you even have padding here on the dash and then up above with the stitching and everything. So definitely has like a premium upscale feel because of all of the padding everywhere. Then we have our sunroof, control for the sunroof, sunglass holder. There you go. So here is the window sticker for the CX-30. Feel free to freeze the frame if you want to read all of the standard equipment that comes with the CX-30. And then you guys can see the optional equipment down here on this particular one. There we go. Kind of hard to focus. Anyways, total MSRP, $36,270. And let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before you set off. There's your visibility over the hood. You guys can see the heads-up display. Both the mirrors, which do have blind spot monitoring. And then throughout the rest of the rear. And turbo time! Starting off here in the CX-30 Turbo. And if you guys don't remember, last year I had one of these for a week from Mazda. And it was an absolute blast. I took it off-road and I still haven't posted that off-road video. Sorry, it's a monster to edit. But let's talk about how this drives. And also we're in kilometers per hour. So I'm gonna have to do some quick math every time I accelerate so that I don't go over the speed limit. Anyways, getting up and moving, steering's great, suspension's great as well. Something that Mazda's really good at is just making a comfortable car. Definitely has that luxury car feel to it. Just from a driving perspective, seat comfort, and then just what you're looking at with the interior. Like this just is a very nice upscale looking interior. Again, 36 grand, you usually don't see like nice materials like this. The interior soft touch pretty much everywhere, nice steering wheel, all that. Typically what you see at this price point is plastic everywhere. And again, seats that just aren't quite this comfortable. So yeah, it's super impressive from that perspective. Also love the turn signal, how that looks there. And we're in the sport mode now, as you guys can see. So we're actually getting up and moving now, and get partial throttle here. Definitely solid. Gear shifts are very smooth, so that is a big plus. Braking's good too. So we are going to get up and get our acceleration here. This thing is quick. Well, what do you expect? It's got a turbo. So yeah, acceleration is solid for sure. Definitely good with that. I'm gonna pop it out of the sport mode. And let's get into setting things up here with the CX-30 Turbo. So first off, exterior wise, I think it's a good looking vehicle. Mazda just has this nice luxury appearance with all their vehicles. And you know, it's kind of what they've been going for, right? Is luxury, but luxury they don't have to pay a massive amount of money for, which again is a great thing indeed. Interior wise, it's amazing. Considering the price point, just all the touch points are great. And I think that Mazda's just done a really good job at, again, making a car that is affordable and feels a lot more upscale and a lot more expensive than it is. And then from a driving perspective, it's great. The 6-speed automatic is good. It doesn't feel like slow and sluggish. Obviously there's, you know, some cars with more modern transmissions, you know, automatics that are a little bit more advanced, or, you know, dual clutch automatics, all that. But this gets the job done. Still feels fast, feels great. And there's just a lot to love about this. And in this segment, there's not really anything like this. Most of the vehicles just have naturally aspirated engines, or if they have turbo engines, they are very small and don't have a lot of power. This has power. And so if you want kind of, again, hatchback sized SUV, right? You want that, you know, you like a hatchback fits within what you're looking for. But then again, you want an SUV that's, you know, you want the SUV like ground clearance and practicality and all that. Then that's what this gives you. And you can still have fun with it, and it still handles great. And there's nothing that really compares to this right now. That's gonna sum things up for our video on this 2022 Mazda CX-30 Turbo. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Southtown Mazda here in Utah for giving me some time with the CX-30. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you guys.